Hi, Flosstube. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Mandy, and you found my little corner of YouTube about where I'd like to talk about cross stitch and some quilting. Um, this is probably Flosstube 10-ish or so. It's been about a month since my last video, and so this is kind of my July update or what I worked on in July. I might talk. I don't really have strong plans for August, so yeah. I have a few fully finishes. I have a few finished stitches and a couple whips, um, a, some haul. So yeah, I hope you have a beverage and we'll sit down and visit with me for a little bit. Um, I guess I'll start with the quilt behind me. I recently finished this. This is a pattern by Lori Holt. It's her Quilt Seeds. I guess it's just called Quilt Seeds with, what was this line called? It's not Gentler Times. Sorry, I don't remember. It's the one that came out before Americana. So it came out in the spring. I Happy Little Stitch Shop is an online, well, and brick and mortar quilt shop. I think they're based in either Wisconsin, maybe Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, somewhere up there. um, and basically once a month they ship out one of the quilt seeds with fabric, and then at the end you get the finishing kit, and so I kind of participated in that. So this is my most recent finish. I'm going to gift it to our current nanny who just got married, and she will be leaving us in a couple weeks, and so I'm very sad about that. But anyways, yeah, so it was basically 4 different types of flowers. The other 2 are hanging down. Um, Not perfect. I struggled with these flying geese. These are like 2-inch by 1-inch flying geese. Um, and each one has like a full border, and I think I'm a decent piecer, but I'm not a perfect piecer, and I am very much like finished is better than perfect, and so took a little bit of fudging. It's okay. It's finished. I think it looks good. So yeah, yeah. So it's a finished quilt, and I'm happy to be gifting it to somebody. Um, okay. And then two other big finishes I'll start with. One of them is this. I know I showed it to you fully finished, or the stitching finished a couple months ago. But this is 324 by Works by ABC. I got it framed at Hobby Lobby, and so just picked it up a couple weeks ago. I love it. It's very bright and colorful. I have to find a place to hang it. And yeah, so I stitched it. It's just on like probably a 32 count white linen. And then I did all 324 different DMC colors. Uh, and yeah, Hobby Lobby frame. So that's fun. Another big finish. So for Jolly July, I wanted, I started this in Jolly July, and I kind of had a goal of finishing it, but it wasn't going to be the end of the world if I didn't, but I was able to. It's called Quilted Snowman by Lori Holt. And I stitched it on a piece of 25 count Be Stitch Me Lugana, kind of similar to Toast with the called for DMC. And I just happened to be so lucky that I found this Oops frame from Hobby Lobby like 3 or 4 years ago. So the frame itself was only $8. I had actually bought it for thinking it would fit a different project, that it wouldn't fit, and it was like perfect for this project. So um, I don't know, good reason to shop those Oops frames. You never know what kind of, you know. But yeah, I'm really happy this is done. I can't wait to put it up over Christmas, wintertime. Um, so yeah, that is the second fully finished object. I'm just so excited that I just had that perfect frame in my stash of frames. I don't have a ton of big stash of frames, but I have a couple. So okay. And so for the month of July, I had 5 starts. and 4 finishes. One of the finishes was a quilted snowman. And then I will show you, I showed you one finish already back in the last video. It was Summer Quaker. And then I guess I'll just show you these other ones. So we'll start, let's see, with this one, just because this was the first one I started and finished. So this was Primrose Cottage, Free Stitch Friday, for July probably. And so it's called Hello Summer. I think I just pulled the floss from my stash. And this fabric is a Weeks Dye Works in the colorway Cherry Vanilla. And 30 count. And so I just thought it was perfect. It's super bright. Obviously, summer is kind of over. It's not over. It's very much, I mean, it's August 9th, but my kids go back to school next Monday on the 11th. And so it feels like summer is over. And I'm kind of okay with that. I'm ready for cooler weather, even though here in Kansas it's not going to be cool for a little while. But yeah, I will try to fully finish this as a pillow probably next year. But yeah, this was a fun, quick stitch. I started it and finished it the next day. And so nice and fast. The colors are a little bit different. I don't remember what was called for, but this pink is called Watermelon Punch by Weeks Dye Works, and it's just like the perfect bright pink. I really liked that. So yeah, I'm happy to have that one as a finish. And now I can put away the floss and the pattern, the fabric, whatever. Okay, the next one that I started was, I forgot to pull it out. I actually ironed my finishes this time. Was this one July a year in chalk, red, white, and barbecue. So I'm trying to stitch one of these a month. And this was my July one. So I now have January through, I finished August too. So yeah, this only took like 2 days, 3 days as well. Pretty quick. I'm stitching it with the white is bamboo and the red is, or the other color is usually the called for color in the pattern on 14 count chalkboard black. Just go ahead and show you. This one was August. This was a start and finish for this month, but Sleep Under the Stars. I just think this one is probably one of my favorites. So yeah, those two. And then next, so I'll pull this out in September. This is September's. It's called Summer Don't Go, which again, I feel like summer's over in August. Okay. So that's that. And then my last, second to last, let's see. So this is a club I'm in through Crazy Annie Stitchin'. It's a tiny modernist club called Winter Forest. So there's 6. It started last month and through December, I believe. July, August, December. Yeah, that sounds about right. Each little snow globe has a different like animal in it. I'm stitching it with the called for DMCs. The fabric is like a 32 count sparkly, it's a linen. Can't remember who like designed it, but it's probably like a witch cult fabric. But yeah, I finished that recently in August. It was nice to get done. I'm all ready for the next one, which I don't think is shipped yet from Crazy Annie's, but I'm trying to start and finish those once a month. And then my last finish is this. I kind of had a wild hair. This was not anywhere on my radar in the last video, but I just wanted something that was kind of small and relatively quick to start and finish, and so this fit the bill. It's called Watermelon Snail House. It's an Owl Forest embroidery piece, so it's stitched with the called for Owl Forest. I just finished it yesterday during my last round of chemo, so that's kind of exciting. I don't know what this fabric is. It just came with the kit. It looks like a 32 count, some kind of Zweigart base, I think. But yeah, I don't know what to do. So I have the kit, and there's still like probably enough floss to like stitch another one. The paper pattern, this is like this, it came in a box. I'm just cut the top of the box off. But I don't know if I should keep the floss and just like incorporate it into my stash or keep this together and let it go as a kit. So yeah, I guess if it's, let me know if it's something you'd be interested in acquiring and I can mail it to you. So yeah, okay. The rest of, so for July, I tried to focus a lot on this piece by, um, what am I? By Jardin Privé. It's called Green Christmas. I'm trying to pull up a picture. Gallery. I know I've shown it before, but so Green Christmas. Sorry, the glare is not ideal. And so basically from like July 1st through the 20, I lost my mojo. So looks like through the 20th was my last day. But every day I put in at least a strand of green and I was able to finish the border. So that's exciting. And now I just have the middle to fill in. And so clearly I started with some of the greens. But yeah, I kind of had hoped to get a little more in on it, but then I think I had chemo around that time and just lost my mojo to stitch one strand a day, and instead I just focused on the quilted snowman, and that was fine. You do what you gotta do. And then so I'll pull that back out again and see if it strikes me to work on it a bunch or not. Okay, next one is, I have to figure out which program it's in. I think it's in markup. Nope, it's sorry, hold please. Figure out where I put it. So according to markup, I am 11.6% done on this pattern. It's called Remember Me by Teresa Kogut. It's a big one. I started it several years ago, but I had kind of wanted to work on this and shoot for a finish, but that's not gonna happen this year. But I feel like I got a decent bit of progress, I guess. So remember me. This is my progress. This is a piece of 18 count, similar to Toast by Be Stitch Me. So I made it all the way over to the left side. Left? I don't know. I have three corners. That's the bottom. I definitely cut it close with the margins. So we'll see. That's why I wanted to get like all the way across and all the way down. Let me show you what. So I'm stitching it with the called for floss, I think. But this is what it'll look like when it's done. I'm sure you've seen people stitch this up. And I started it in like 2022. If that was when it was released for Patreon. So yeah, that was kind of a goal. I think I said in my last video to like focus on, but once again, lost mojo on it. My stitchy bug was kind of weird for a little bit. but that's okay. Next one I pulled out and just only put a few days of stitching into it. Let me see. Sorry, I gotta find the picture. It's Primrose Cottage. It's called Hive Rules. I've had it, I think I kitted it up last year. So this is what it'll look like finished. So I think I kitted it and started it last year. Java Girl Stitches was doing like a It Be Tuesday stitch along. And so this is, I think, a piece of 25 count like Lugana that you could used to be able to get at Hobby Lobby. I had up to here done, and then I started the next one, but I only put like a very little bit of time into it. But this, I kind of like to get this finished in August, so this is kind of a goal, but it really hasn't been calling to me. But it's easy stitching on the 25 count, so I don't know. I should be able to finish it in August. It's just a matter of like pulling out and actually working on it. And then the last two more. So this I just started, not started yesterday, but I just worked on it for the first time yesterday. It's called Beehive House, Hometown Neighborhood series by Lori Holt. Started it last year. I'm stitching it on the called for, what did they model stitch it on? I think it's like Farmhouse Lugana 25 count with the called for DMCs. So I had most of this done. I just did the blue colors a little bit yesterday after I finished the snail house because I had some time. That's what I felt like working on. And I really like stitching on the 25 count. It's easy. That's a lot of fill in. So it can kind of go fast, but it also can kind of take a little while. And then so Stitch is So Beautiful is a full coverage pattern company that they she has a website and she has an Etsy. She has a Facebook page, and each month she does a stitch along where if you stitch once a week, stitch 250 stitches on one of her patterns. I think it has to be the same pattern throughout the month. But basically, if you stitch 1,000 stitches in the month on one of her patterns and you post your progress once, it's every Friday, I think, you can get a free full coverage. And I liked the full coverage that she was offering this year. And so I've never stitched a full coverage before. Have several that I've like wanted to stitch and I've just been kind of scared to jump in. But this called to me enough that I started it. But so it's going to be this. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's 120,000 stitches, and I am at like 0.6% with 700 some stitches in. It's called what's it say? Field of Flowers Bathed in Soft Moonlight. Here is my progress. It's basically 700 stitches in 310. And I've had this, I usually stitch in hand, but I don't think I could stitch a full coverage in hand. It's just too much fabric to hold. I feel like my hand would cramp. This is a 25 count easy grid. So it was easier to just load it up on this like kind of lap stand thing, which I got from Garon Stitchery several years ago. When I first thought I wanted to start stitching full coverage, and I'm kind of hooked. I do enjoy it. It's not something I can travel with, so it's like I have to be sitting on the couch and stitching it, but that's fine. I do a lot of that in the evenings, usually after work. So, but yeah, you might see more full coverage from me coming up. But I don't want to start a bunch because 127 stitches is a lot, and I have a lot of other big projects going. So, yeah. So that is my progress um, for, what am I saying? Progress so far, this for July and August. So about a month's worth of work, which a lot of it was dedicated to Quilted Snowman. That was a lot of stitches. So much so that I like put a hole in my finger and I had to kind of take a few days break from stitching because my finger was sore and had a hole in it. Neither here nor there. Okay, I have a little, I say it's a little bit, it's not a little bit. I mean, it's been a month for, honestly. Let's be real, but some haul. Um, and yeah, I cute. So this one I thought was cute. I got from Fat Quarter Shop, Bent Creek, Pop of Christmas. I've stitched one other of these Pop of Christmas kits, but this is the ones where it comes like kitted up with the with the, what is that called? 20 count linen with pearl cotton. And so they stitch up pretty quick, but I just thought it was cute. I got this, somebody had shown, I don't know if it was this one. I was enabled by somebody on social media or YouTube for this All Forest embroidery Emerald Bird Night Song. So I got the kit. Um, like someday I'll start it and look on it and probably get another wild hair like I did with that snail one. So there's those. I did place an order from Primrose Cottage. I got this. Oh, not that. I got this little needle minder. And then this was like their new chart for the month, I guess. I don't know. One of their new releases. And then I just was kind of in the mood for some Halloween, so I picked up this one and I picked up this one. Which I'd like to start this one this year. We shall see. I gotta organize this stuff. And then I'm in the Needle Minder of the Month Club through Happy Little Stitch Shop from Flamingo Toes. I don't think this is a spoiler because I saw that Quarter Shop posted it on their page, but I'd like to sell this because I'm not a cat person and I don't really read a ton of books. I kind of listen to books, but basically you get the floss, so the DMC floss to stitch this pattern, either cross stitch or embroidery, and then you get this little needle minder. So if you're interested in that, like send me a message or comment. It's Mandy Mead Stitches on Instagram. That's probably the fastest way. I have a Gmail with Mandy Mead Stitches too, so you can email me. But I would sell it for like, I can't remember how much I paid for it, but like $15. Ideally to the US. If I'm shipping to Canada, I'd like you to pay for postage. um, but yeah, if you're interested and you're a cat person, let me know. I'd be more than happy to let go of that. Just because it's not that it's not cute. It's cute. It's just I will never stitch it. And I don't need any more DMC. And yeah, I'm just not a cat person, basically, what it comes down to. Okay, what else? I participated in the Stitch Me's Ready to Ship weekend a few weeks back. And so those fabrics came in. I got the not your not your denim jacket and an opal, 28 count opal. I got it also from just a regular 28 count Lugana. And then Wicked Sprout and 28 count Lugana. I like Lugana because it's not as loud for some of the pieces. This is Luna Moth. This is a 28 count linen. That's pretty. And I actually won a vanilla latte in my giveaway. So that was fun. And then I attended the Midsummer Stitch hosted by Lindy Stitches. And so this is the exclusive there, Midsummer 30 count Lugana is what I got. It's gorgeous. I don't know what I'll stitch on it. It's gorgeous. And then also from Lindy Stitches, I just ordered this hydrangea. I don't know how it's by though. It doesn't say. But that was some fabric. And then color and cotton had some ready to ship. So this is a 32 count linen and stone circle. This is an 18 count Ada in Stonehenge. And then I just got some floss because I don't need any floss. Just they had some to ship, and I thought, oh, that's nice. They're pretty colors, just kind of random colors. I think they were like, yeah, they're limited editions. That's why. Fun. And then there is a Facebook page called Homespun. What's it called? Homespun Needlework, something like that. And they kind of do exclusives once a month, every couple months. And so this month it was from, sorry, I don't remember the shop. Shepherd's Needle, maybe? And so this is the pattern. I don't stitch a ton of the Scarlet House, but I like her stuff. It's a little bit prim, but I just liked the kit. I liked the saying, each dawn brings a new day for us to do whatever we may, choose to be happy with a grateful heart, for we have been given a brand new start. And I just felt like that was kind of, I don't know, given my current circumstances, health-wise, thought it was nice. So I got the kits, a 40 count, Hawthorne 40 count by Needle and Flax. And then it comes with a little pin and this little goodie. So I would like to start it soon, but I don't know. I'll have to get motivated, start it. And then, sorry, kind of making a mess. Find some organization here. This is patterns. Okay, and then so this goes. Golly, sorry, I'm unorganized. I got a few like monthly projects that I get this August from Fat Quarter Shop. This was the last in the Bloom and Root series, so I got that from Fat Quarter Shop. And then I'm in this a year, what's it called? A Year in the Woods 2. This was number 2 Sugar Glider. I am, and then I get the floss. I'm in that through Top Knot Stitcher. I got this book from Amazon. This is, what's her name? Emma Congdon or Stitchovia's recent Christmas book. Lots of people have done flip throughs, so I'm not going to do anything. This is a new release from Rosewood Manor called Serendipity. It's gorgeous. I need to kit this up and I need to start it. But again, it's another big project, but this just called to me. It calls for weeks dye works, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I think I'm just gonna pull probably Victorian mottos that are similar. I'll actually do that when I clean up this mess. And then Lindy Stitches has enabled me with some of these like beaded cross stitch patterns by Brie Art. I've never heard of them before. But they're very pretty and I like beading, I think. So this is one. This is actually just cross stitch, but I thought that little owl was cute and good for Halloween. This bee one, I think the fabric is printed. I haven't even opened it yet, but I think the fabric is printed and then you just bead. And then this is a big guy, big old whale. I think it's pretty. And then this, emerald leaves. This was kind of like a midsummer stitch enabled thing. So I gotta pull one of those out and kind of see what it's like. And last but not least, this little snow globe, not snow globe, snow day bowl fillers all through the night. Super cute. They came with like some of the printed stuff, and then you kind of embroider over it and then do felt over it. I just thought it was super cute. So there is that. That is my haul. Like I said, I don't have a ton of plans. I'd like to finish Hive Rules. Maybe that Lori Holt bee Hive House. Gonna keep working on that full coverage piece. So it's just kind of up in the air. I probably will come back in about a month. I have surgery on the 12th, and so I would like of September, and so I would like to come back before then, probably. But we'll see. We'll see. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope it provided some entertainment. I feel a little bit subdued today. I'm kind of, had chemo yesterday. I'm a little bit tired. The full effects hasn't hit me yet. That's usually kind of Sunday night, and Monday is the worst. And I usually just sleep all day. But today I feel decent, so that's good. And what else? There's not a whole lot. I mean, that and boys start school on my fourth grader starts school on Monday. My kindergartner starts school on Thursday. This is going to be, they're both at the same school this year for the first time ever, which is pretty excited about. They can walk. We'll drop them off in the mornings, but they can walk home. It's just like 2 blocks away. And so that's nice. But yeah, I don't know. Kids are getting older and it's happy and sad, right? um, I like this season of life. They're old enough to kind of somewhat entertain themselves, and sports are more fun. I'm kind of glad to be out of the baby stage. But anyways, I'll stop rambling on. Thank you again for tuning in. I don't have any giveaways, but I would like to, well, like I will give away the Owl Forest piece. So we'll call just, but I'm not gonna like say, oh, just draw a number or say a word. Just message me, whoever the first person to message me, if you're interested in it, I will ship it. Preferably the US, but if you're in Canada and willing to help out on the shipping, I'll ship it to Canada. And then that Needle Minder of the Month club, if you're interested in that, we can figure out $15 plus shipping. And I will happily let that go to one of you lovely people. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done rambling. Have a good, on to the next video. Have a good rest of your weekend, month. Enjoying the end of summer. And I'll see you probably in about a month. Thank you.